Alright, I've got some exciting news for you guys today about Buried. I've actually found a full list of the achievements that were leaked, or the trophies that were leaked for PS3, but I believe they'll be the same. You've got Mind Games, in Buried Be Their Pawn, Ectoplasmic Residue, in Buried Acquire Perk for Free, I'm Your Huckleberry, in Buried Access all areas with help of your new friend in one game, Death from Below, drop the beat on zombies 10 times, Candygram, make a candy delivery, Awaken Gazebo, pack a punch a weapon on round 1 with no one using the bank or weapon locker, Revisionist Historian, rewrite history, Mazed and Confused, survive an entire round within the maze on round 20 or higher, F-Cert against the wall, purchase the LSAT and pack a punch it, and when the revolution comes, return to processing. So this is basically going to be my guide of how to do those. For the achievement Mazed and Confused, I believe the very first thing we saw in the trailer, in the first trailer, was actually the maze. As you can see here, I've slowed it right down. It could be the maze, it could be something else, but it looks like it's really closed off, and I reckon that's where you're going to have to survive to get this achievement. Ectoplasmic Residue seems pretty simple. All you got to do is get a free perk. So that seems like it's going to be not too hard to do. And ectoplasm, for those of you who don't know, is a substance or spiritual energy exteriorized by physical medium. So what that means basically is some sort of supernatural energy that you can actually physically see or touch. So what I believe that is the ghost that we saw in the trailer, and I think to get this trophy or achievement, what you're going to have to do is basically kill her to get the achievement. Candygram seems like the most simple and straightforward one. I actually talked about this in the last video that I made talking about this map, talking about the new things that were on it. Basically, this guy, the big guy that we've seen in the trailer that we don't know whether we have to help or fight, is actually going to be able to be tamed. And the way we tame him, as you can see here, he's hungry, and we give him some candy. As I showed you just in that first 2 clips there, where there's a candy shop, and I showed you some footage of inside it. Feed him, and he'll be on your side and help you kill the zombies. I'm Your Huckleberry seems pretty straightforward. All you gotta do is use the big guy after you tame him from doing Candygram to help you access the new areas. I don't know exactly how we do that, but we'll figure that out when the map comes out. What I'm more interested in is the fact that the achievement is actually called I'm Your Huckleberry. And the first thing I think about when I think about Huckleberry is Huckleberry Finn, and then I think about Tom Sawyer. So I've gone overnight and researched all this, and the town that these guys live in the story of in the Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and that they live in a town called St. Petersburg. So that's what I believe this town is called. I don't know why it's underground, but that's a zombies twist. I could be wrong. Anyway, so it's just offshore the Mississippi River. So again, suiting the time zone, not the time zone. Sorry, suiting the location of this map. And another important thing is the town is just a small town, and the Christian faith is predominant. As you can see in these past 2 clips here, there's obviously going to be a church on this map. This one here with is it Marlton or no, Stuling? I'm not sure which one it is. With the regular Mark II, there is definitely a church there. Also, the story of this begins with the 2 boys sneaking out and doing some voodoo stuff at the graveyard to get rid of some warts. And you saw there was definitely a graveyard on the map. And so basically, it's starting to come together. I'm having trouble piecing all of this together, but there is a few things that I'd like to say I've confirmed. I'm not sure, but I believe this guy is going to be someone from the story. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be Huckleberry or if he's going to be Tom Sawyer. I think he could actually be. His name might be Joe, and he was the slave of the lady who lived in the big house up on the hill, and he was basically imprisoned or as a slave, but thanks to Huckleberry and Tom, they actually were able to free him. So I'm thinking that's why it's called I'll Be Your Huckleberry, obviously because you break him out and then he helps you, so you are then therefore his Huckleberry from helping save him out of jail. So that's just my theory, guys. I don't know, I could be crazy. If you want to read the full stories about these 2 different boys, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, I'll link the summaries of the stories down below. You can have a look at that. But that's my theory. I don't know if I'm right. It sounds like I really think I'm right, but I don't know. It's exciting. Anyway, we're gonna have to wait and see in 2 days. And yeah, so that's my theory, guys. Last few things I want to mention. There's a new perma perk, as you can see here, possibly more than one. There's a big house on the hill, which is where the ghost lives. I'll mention that again later. There's a courthouse here. Keep that in your mind for later as well. And as you can see in the background right there, there's a new buildable item, which I'm not sure if anyone saw, but I definitely saw that when I was going through it. And keep that in your mind as well. So for this map, this is going to be a list of the achievements here that I haven't mentioned so far. How to do them. So be their pawn's going to be the big Easter egg. I don't know what exactly you're going to have to do, but obviously being a pawn, you're going to have to do as someone wishes you to do. So I don't know exactly what you're going to have to do, but we'll find out when the map comes out. Death from below, dropping the beat on 10 zombies. So there was an achievement in Die Rise to use the trample steam to kill a few zombies. This might have something to do with the buildable item on this map. Awakened Gazebo, pack a punching weapon on round 1 without the user of the bank or the weapon locker. That just confirms there's going to be a bank and a weapon locker in this map as well. So if they do join onto Die Rise and that, I'd be recommending filling stuff up. Rewriting history, no idea what that has to do. What has to do about that. And purchasing the LSAT off the wall, packer punching it. LSAT's going to be on the wall. That is awesome. Returning to processing. That this is another theory I have. Processing is it can be many things, but in a law sense, it is being summoned to court to basically, go throughout your trial. So, as you saw in that little clip before that I mentioned, there's a courthouse on this map, and I believe it'll have something to do with that in the story of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Here's a couple of things I wanted to mention. The reason I told you to have a look at that house, and see that, and obviously the reason I mentioned there was a ghost that lives in it, that ghost that you saw before, is one of the first things again that happens in the story of Tom Sawyer is Huck and Tom decide to go a dig for buried treasure at the old haunted house on Cardiff Hill. So I reckon that house is going to be the old haunted house on Cardiff Hill, and obviously it's haunted in zombies. They've turned it into an actual haunted house, and that's where the ghost lives.
Huh?
So
Not really.
again, relevant to my theory. I'm not sure if it's true, but um,
Yeah, I know.
and back to what I was
It's
saying
like
about
how
the
they
courthouse.
also did
That's
that
again important to
for
this story because Tom Sawyer is actually basically trying to get with this girl. What's her name? Becky Thatcher. She's the judge's daughter,
yeah.
and again, so that's probably important to this story. He ends up, you know, he ends up taking a bullet for her later on, not an actual bullet, but she gets in trouble, and he says it was him. So they fall in love. Again, the courthouse is important to this story because the main story is these guys have witnessed a grave robbery, and they're the only witnesses. And when the trial goes on, Tom puts up his hand and says, "Yep, I saw the murder." The guy runs away, and he ends up getting killed later by karma, but whatever. So I believe returning to processing may have something to do with the
I
courthouse
guess that's how they
and
did
going back there, and
stories
that could
that
also have something to do with rewriting history from that other
they're also
revisionist
good.
historian. In if you return to the courthouse
Yeah.
and the trial ends differently to how it does in the story, you may then rewrite history and have a different outcome of this map. I don't know if this is going to be a map that actually end like Mob of the Dead. It could be again, but I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, I've rambled on for way too long now. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been my full guide to all the achievements, as far as I am able, as far as I'm capable to tell you guys. So, anyway, go and fill up the bank, put some guns in the weapon locker,
No,
and
no,
get ready for
like
this
that's a
map.
spy gun.
And
Like
when it
if
comes out, well, you'll see if my theory's right or not. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.